Hello friends, welcome to the lecture series on data entry skill test, that is DEST for SSC CGL exam, presented by W. We are now in the second lecture, that is calculation of errors. In the last lecture, we have looked at general information, that is we have looked at the exam pattern, we have looked at the document verification process and how the exam process actually takes place and so on. In this lecture, let's talk about calculation of errors. So first, let's look at what are the types of errors, what is considered as an error and all these things. So generally the mistakes are categorized as half mistakes and full mistakes. Let's look at it one by one. First, full mistakes. So full mistakes is where the entire word will be counted as error. Suppose there is something called have, H-A-V-E. So the entire word, that is 4 letters, will be counted as error. Those are full mistakes. We'll see what conditions lead to these full mistakes. First, for omission of word or figure. Suppose there is according to Constitution of India. Suppose you miss this word constitution, that is you omitted this word, then the error will be 12 letters because the constitution word has 12 letters in it. The error will be full mistake, that is 12 letters. So this is omission of word or figure. So the second type of full mistake is for every substitution of word or figure. Suppose instead of according to Constitution of India, instead of to you wrote from, that is according from Constitution of India. So instead of to you substituted from. So that's again full mistake, and here the error is 2 letters because you missed this 2 word. Okay, the error is not 4 here, it's 2 because you missed 2. So the error is 2 letters, that is TO. So this is the second type of full mistake. The third type of full mistake is for every addition of word or figure that is not found in the passage. Suppose again, let's take this according to Constitution of India. Instead of according to Constitution of India, you wrote according to the Constitution of India. That is, you added extra the in the sentence. So you added something which is not found in the passage. So error will be 3 letters because THE is 3 letters. Okay. So this is another full mistake. So these are the 3 types of full mistakes which are considered in SSC exam. Next, remember that you should give only single space after full stop. So after you put a full stop, you should give only single space, not double space, as many people had doubt in this. And extra space will also lead to penalty of 1 error mostly. And the new paragraph should always be started with enter and tab space. So whenever you start a new paragraph, you'll have to first press enter so that you go to the next line and start off with a tab space to just give initial indentation. Anyway, we'll look at this when we see about a demo on how to practice. Okay. Next, we'll come to half mistakes. So we have seen 3 full mistakes in the last slide. There are 3 types of full mistakes. Now let's see what are considered as half mistakes. So half mistake means only half of the letters will be counted as error. Suppose there is again have, H-A-V-E. Suppose you did a half mistake, then the error will be only 2 because have has 4 letters. The half mistake will be half of it, 2 letters. So let's look at what conditions bring us to half mistakes. First, spacing error. When there is no space or extra space is provided between the words, then it is considered as half mistake. Suppose instead of what is the time now, if you write what is the time now, in between is and the, you did not put a space. So this is a half mistake where no space is provided. Here half mistake, here the error will be half of this 5 letters. So half of 5 letters is 2.5. As this is a half mistake, the error will be only half of the 5 letters. And suppose instead of what, you added some extra space between W and H. So again, this is a half mistake. So the total what word is 4 letters. So the half mistake will be half of 4, that is 2 letters. So the error here is 2. The error in the first case is 2.5. Okay. So this is the first type of half mistake, that is spacing error. So even if you give extra space or if you remove the space, it will be counted as half error. Next, spelling errors. So for every spelling mistake you commit by any way, like if you just commit a spelling mistake, then it is also considered as half mistake. Like instead of spelling, instead of spelling you write 1 L instead of 2 L's or 3 L's instead of 2 L's, or you just interchange this as spelling instead of spelling, or you add 1 more P here. See, all these are spelling mistakes, right? So this will be considered as half error. So the total number of letters in spelling is 8. So half of 8 is 4. So this is the second type of half error, that is spelling errors. So if you make a spelling mistake, that will be counted as a half error. And now the third type of half mistake is wrong capitalization. That is, instead of capital letter you put small letter, or instead of small letter you put capital letter. That is also considered as half mistake. Suppose, let's take an example. Instead of capital I, if you put small I, then it's a half mistake and the error is half of this one letter. That is 0.5 is the error, right? Let's take one more example. Instead of the small THE, you write T capital, that is capital THE, then again it's a wrong capitalization half mistake. So the error is half of 3, that is 1.5 is the error. So these are the three types of half mistakes. So we have looked at three types of full mistakes and three types of half mistakes. Now let's see how to calculate the total error. So you might be typing the entire paragraph or passage and you would have made many errors in your sheet. Now add all those errors. First compute all the errors using full mistakes or half mistakes. Now add all the errors. So the total sum of the errors is the total error. That's it. So to compute total error, just add all the errors, you'll get total error. Now one more important point is only these mistakes are generally considered as errors by SSC unless they specifically mention in the instructions page to you. Okay, generally only these are the errors which SSC will look for. And one more important point is while taking a printout, so once you're done with the test, you will be taking a printout right after saving, as we have seen in the exam process. So once you take printout, that is final. So whatever you typed in the system, that will be considered final and only that will be evaluated. So after you take a printout and if you try to make any corrections with pen or pencil, that won't be agreeable by SSC. It will only take in that final version which you have printed from the system, right? So do not try to make any corrections with pen or pencil on the paper. It won't even be considered. So this is all about full mistakes, half mistakes, and how to compute total error. Now let's see how to calculate percentage error. See, percentage error is simple. Just apply this formula. You will have to apply this formula that percentage error is equal to total error by total number of depressions into 100. Suppose your passage contains 2000 depressions and your total error is 42. Then your percentage error is 42 by 2000 into 100, that is 2.1%, right? Very simple, right? And let's take one more thing. So if your passage contains 2000 depressions again and your total error is 164, your percentage error is total error, that is 164 divided by number of depressions, that is 2000 into 100, that is 8.4%, right? So this is how you compute the percentage error. So this is important because your cutoffs will generally be based on the percentage error. Now let's get into cutoffs. So generally you are expected to be 100% accurate in your typing, but everyone makes mistake, that even SSC knows. So generally SSC will be okay, will accept some percentage error up to a certain percentage. So, and the cutoff so far has been 5% error is acceptable for unreserved category people, and for OBC, SC, ST, ex-service people and OH categories up to 7% of error was acceptable, and for HH and VH category students a slightly higher percentage was acceptable. It was between 7 to 10%, and for VH it was between 7 to 25%. And again, these are just tentative cutoffs, but the actual cutoffs may vary anytime as decided by SSC. But this has been the general trend of cutoffs over the past few years. Now, the most important thing is while you're practicing, always try to aim at least 2% less than this percentage error if cutoff. So if you're in unreserved category, and always aim to get a percentage error of less than 3% for you to be on a safer side in real exam, right? So that's very important. So as to get confidence. Now that is it in this lecture. We have looked at full mistakes, we have looked at half mistakes, and we have looked how to compute total error. We have looked at how to compute percentage error, and we have looked at various cutoffs. So that's it for this lecture, and in the next lecture we'll look at most common doubts which most of the candidates will have, and we'll answer all of this. Okay, so thank you so much for being with me in this lecture. If you really like this lecture, please do like it so that it shows you really like their efforts, and please do share it so that your friends will also get to know about all these lectures, and please do subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future updates. We are coming up with more new videos, and for you to not to miss all of this, please do subscribe. Okay, thank you so much and have a nice day.